Well, hello everybody. Hamha and happy Friday. Hello Bladevap, Delta, Stumbles, Bladevap, Delta, Stumbles. Fish, hi Fish, how are you? So today, I wanted to do this for ages. I wanted to just do my own take on the opening animation for Pokemon Gold and Silver. That little scene where the camera like pans up past some Shelter and some Magikarp, and then it shows you a Lapras. I've just always wanted to do this scene. I think it's such a charming little scene with like the limited color palette and everything, so that's what I'm doing today. Hi Toby. Hello Mecha, how are you? Vaporeon Baja Blue version. Ugh, I could yummy down on some Baja Blast right now. Easily. It wouldn't even be hard for me because of the way I'm built. But so of course we're listening to the Gold, Silver, and Crystal original soundtrack as it was back in 1962 when this game came out. Back when the world was young. And then I'm also going to have like these tiny little silhouettes of Lugia down here in the water and Hoa up in the clouds. They're gonna be like very light silhouettes because I don't want them to be like the point of the illustration. But I think that would be a cute little nod to the title screen. Switch to, that's what happens. Oh, so you said it was heating up a little bit? Whoa, strong, says Toby. Thank you for noticing. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of stick to that super basic limited palette that they used back in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Even though it's not strictly accurate, I just think it's very nice, so we're gonna do that. I've got a whole bunch of screenshots open. Something that I noticed that's funny is in the Gold, Silver, and Crystal animation, the Magikarp swim by, and the Magikarp's designs are incorrect. Magikarp has a fin on top like this, and it has a fin on the bottom like this, and they just completely skipped the bottom fin. He only has the top fin. Shamu, thank you for 24 months of subscription. That's 2 years. Oh my god. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Limited palettes are fun, says Mecha. It's just, you know, it's just nice to do something very simple and direct sometimes. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this piece. I just want to make it look like the original, but with my own little spin on it. Nothing too fancy. As you can see, I still haven't finished the Solomon's picture, so he's here for moral support. He's here to make me feel better. I know you, by the way, Vap, I know you know a few of the new characters in Mario Kart World. Do you want to know who the top tier character is? Yes, I do. I saw that a lot of kind of niche Mario characters are pickable. The cow is wonderful. I do really like the cow. But is it like, so top tier as in like one of the best to play? It's kind of crazy that there isn't a sheep actually. You'd really think, wouldn't you? Okay. Next, we're going to work on these beautiful little shelters. So something very interesting. Shelter has like a dark purple shell in game, but in this little loading animation, they gave it a white shell because it stands out a lot better against the background. So I'm just gonna go with that. That's fine. Game Freak knows best in this one scenario. However, the inside of its shell is black. I do love that Shelter's little tongue is just out all the time. Like, what's that all about, buddy? And then when it evolves into Cloyster, it just doesn't have its freaky little tongue anymore. The tongue was just like a total non sequitur. Very funny. I've never seen anyone talk about that. Alright, there's the inside of his little shell. Hello, Orion Studios. Flareon, thank you for subscribing for 48 months. That is a long time. One of the best online is full of cow players. I think that'll turn out cool. Thanks, Toby. Some of the Team Rocket members take Slowpoke tails. Some also take the bottom fin off of Magikarps. I'm choosing to believe that. I'll incorporate that into my worldview. Hello, Bootsukoi. How are you? Who cares about a cow in Mario Kart? I almost said a car in Mario Kart, which, I mean, true. You can play as Hatsune Miku in Sonic Racing? Can you really? Are you messing with me? Vap is live. True. I'm not dead yet. And I'm on Twitch. These are two qualities that they're always true about me. I'm at the hardware store, and there's something very funny about listening to a Twitch stream in the hardware store. That's beautiful. You should try to spread the good word about VAP streams to the hardware store people. Find someone who looks like they're trying to solve a really difficult DIY home project and be like, hey, I've got something you can listen to while you're, I don't know, sanding your deck? I don't know. What do people work on? I feel like building a deck is a very, like, American hardware store kind of aspiration, right? Let's see. Return to Johto, new Johtonian regional variants. Cow is valid, Stumbles. Both can be valid. They got so many things you can sand here, man. Mecha, thank you for cheering 69 bits. I know, I like the cow too, says Stumbles. I get my Switch 2 from Nintendo. Why is the Vap black? That's Krobus Vap from Stardew Valley. She's a little, I don't know, an imp? She's something. She's a shadow Vap. I think that's what, they're shadow people, aren't they? Isn't Krobus a shadow person? It's shadow Vap. It's the kind of Vap you would encounter in like a dark cavern somewhere, and you'd see her like eating rocks. And then she would hiss at you and scuttle into the dark. Alright, got the inside of each Shelter's little face painted. She's confirmed in that Sonic Crossworlds Racing. Time to commission a Shelter looking a lollipop. I think Shelter should star in its own commercial of like, hey Mr. Shelter, how many licks does it take to get to the bottom of a Tootsie Pop? Minecraft is in it as well. Something I never realized in the Wild Johto Pokemon theme is there are two versions. Yeah, there's day and night, right? Along with the protag of Yakuza, Steve, Alex, a creeper from Minecraft, and Joker from Persona 5, and SpongeBob? Oh my god. That's the Vap spirit, inconveniencing random dads. That's dad core. Mecha, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. That'll definitely get us into the hype train. Jeez. That is your, that brings you up to 193 gift subs in the channel. You are almost at 200. Thank you for the gift subs too. Big Emo Panda, Lotto62, Joro Art, Steam Opossum, Saicha Tanuki, Werewolf Cass, Itakisel, Fruity Ghost, Rift Mewtwo, and Cake Sketches. Jump scares me every time, says Feach. Damn, this is Flareon. I want to try Sonic Racers and I'm not gonna lie. Why is my Vap shocked? Where's my child? She saw something that surprised her. A regular Vap then. True. Okay, cheers. I know this looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It is not one of my sketchy sodas from last week. I got some delicious Oi Ocha from the Daiso. It's so good. Oi Ocha is the best. Okay, it looks like we are on a level 4 hype train already. Thanks to Mecha's explosive gifting. Thank you very much. Oh, got spooked for a second when I heard my usernames as Fruity Ghost. Sorry. I just like that it's got the O and the 0, so it looks like ghost. Like I said, you got delicious oil. Well, I don't not have delicious oil. But that's not what I said. It's Oi Ocha, which means tea please. Sad I missed out on the sketchy sodas. I love trying wacky indie sodas. Oh man. I wish that what I was trying was like that pleasant, honestly. I wish that I had just picked some nice indie sodas. It was a pretty disgusting stream. I had a tummy ache afterwards. I don't know if I would drink any of those again, except for maybe the Baja Blast. And Clay was, he didn't know that I was even doing that stream, so he came into the office on Monday and saw the, disgusting mystery drink that I'd left on my desk, and he was just like, Katie, what is this? They have something in this aisle called High Profile Knee Kicker. Ooh, what is that mean? Sorry, the Twitch keeps trying to, like, tell me to gift subs on my own stream. Take it easy, Twitch. They've already read that. Have you played Mario Kart World? I have not. Tag your OC. Oh no. Blade, thank you for the gift sub to Rabbit Legs. That is your 70th gift sub in the channel. Wow, I didn't know you'd done that many. 70. Good lord. Not rabbit feet? No, just the legs. Unsurprising. Beptonia, last time you drank your oil, you said it was rotten. True. Vroom vroom. How did you not get ants after leaving that horrid drink out? I think it's because the office is in, like, the second floor of the house, so ants would really have to work to get all the way up here. We are 24% of the way through a level 4 hype train. Thank you very much, everybody. Jeez. Okay, let's get the sand at the bottom of the sea floor in here. So the sand is interesting. It's like, it's almost this pale bluish green color. It's a very, very pale color in the little loading screen. It's like a yellowy, I don't know. I'm just gonna start with like a very gentle yellow color and go from there and see how it feels. It's a very strange color. It's like, with the limited palette that they used to work with, it doesn't look strange at all, because it just matches like the world, but just picking it up off my palette, I'm like, what is this color? You have to go very carefully around these sweet little shelter. And of course the kelp also. The kelp is like a nice pale blue color, so we're not gonna mess with that. We will just move around it for now. Ah, this music is very nostalgic for me. This was my first Pokemon game, Pokemon Gold. Pretty close to my first video game. It was right around the time that I was, you know, discovering that video games were a thing that existed. So doing pretty much everything in Pokemon Gold was a real struggle. I remember I played it for ages, and I didn't know how to run in battle. I like didn't know what that button did or meant, so I just didn't use it because I found it very intimidating. I would just fight every wild battle. Because, yeah, I don't know, it just didn't occur to me you could leave. And I remember my friend, another child, being like, hey, try the run button, and it really, really blew my mind that you could just be like, bye! Because I just didn't for a long time. It's funny to think about stuff like that, because, like, you know, there's a lot of, I think, very valid complaining these days that a lot of games are very hand-holdy and don't let you skip tutorials, especially Pokemon games. And I generally agree with that, but sometimes I think back on how I couldn't figure out how to use the run button as a child, and I go, well, maybe it's warranted sometimes. Kids are kind of dumb. Oh geez, did we get more gift subs? Mecha, holy moly. Thank you for 10 more gift subs. That does officially bring you up over 200. 203 gift subs in the channel. We are 7% of the way through a level 6 hype train. Oh my god. How are you even finding these people? Are these just random people on Twitch? Thank you for the gift subs to Mail City, Nami210, Benny Ringding, the 16th US President, MX Zepix, Pokemon493, Hoshiyu, Coconut Pizza, Servo de Cthulhu, and Lucentai. Oh my goodness. More, says Mecha. More! Great question. I do not know, says Toby. I'm having a bad time unlocking the NPC racers. I'm here because I've been building 1/12 size model kits like a maniac recently. Oh, that's so you. I got to the point in the kits where I needed tools I don't own, but I'm a naive waif in the wilderness of dads. Honestly, though, asking dads for help in the Home Depot is like that. Nothing could make them happier, I think, for most dads. They're pretty much waiting around for someone to ask them for help, you know what I mean? Tell me about it. I saw the item you needed and missed me. This music goes so hard. It's so good, right? Agreed, says Oren. I worried the younger me ever killed a random shiny in gold, silver, and crystal because I never understood what they were. Mad lad. Holy moly. It's probably whoever gets picked when selecting gift to the community. Oh, I see. So it just picks, like, people who are followers who don't have a sub. Fruity Ghost says, my first Pokemon game was Sapphire and I accidentally released my Skitty. No! That's so sad! That's kind of hard to find, too. It has a really low encounter rate. It's either random followers of yours or random people who have at some point viewed your stream. It's all me pulling the strings. Well, just kidding. I started with Gen 3. I didn't know you could go into the menu to use HMs. Anyway, through the entire game, I didn't know how to fly. That's fair, though. They didn't explain that feature as much as, in my opinion, I think they should have. So, you're so right. It's enrichment for them. Yeah, no, I think, like, I'm trying to think of, like, anything, like, you could do to just make a random dad happy. Like, that's very high up there. I also think dads really like if you ask them about an album that was, like, big when they were younger, and just be like, tell me about this album. That's big. Not for all dads, but for some. Hang on, I'm gonna have some granola. Mecca says the order is viewers in chat, expired subs, and followers. Oh, okay. So it's not just completely, like, random. That's cool. I'm learning. Every day. And yet I don't seem to get smarter. I need to talk to someone about that. It's very rude. Okay. Let's mix up some really nice clean blue for the sky. Thank you guys so much for the hype train. It looks like it just wrapped up. Mecha carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Hype train completed, level 6. We had 22 subs and 69 bits. Let's go. And we got the Goblin Jam emote? Alright. We have gotten 4 level 100s before I went to the Elite Four in Crystal. Were you so lost, Aurora? I have some very important art to share. Let's see it. Oh, that's so cute! Oh, they did a really good job with, like, the roundness of these characters. That's very charming. Wow. Features, I remember at one point in the end game, someone was like, you need to talk to your mom, and I was like, okay, sure. I walked all the way back there, and then I had to go all the way back! That's so sad! Okay, those games just did not... They didn't tell you that you had to use some HMs by going into the menu and, like, clicking on the Pokemon. Some of them were triggered by just tapping on the water. You know, like you could, not in Gen 1, but in Gen 2, you could go up to the water and it would ask if you want to use Surf, but not for Fly, which really was challenging, I think. I'm trying to get, like, the last dregs of this blue paint out of this tube. You know, I think it might be a lost cause. Okay, so what's important here is it should be like a gradient, starting with a deeper blue at the top of the sky and getting lighter towards the ocean. And that shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to use my big brush here. Move very carefully around the clouds. And there's a big cloud that sort of goes up off the top of the painting there. And this little mountain of clouds comes down. And then Ho-Oh's shadow is going to be in front of that cloud, so I need to leave some room for it. Okay, got this upper corner. Okay, so from pretty much that point on, I want to just keep adding more water to my brush so that the sky is like a paler and paler blue as I work my way down. That will desaturate it significantly. Okay, let's refine the edges of these clouds just a little. Add some more water to the brush. Keep on working my way down. This is a very funny song to be listening to for this beautiful, bright ocean scene. It's like the cave music, I want to say. This is like how it feels when you're in the ocean or a lake and like some seaweed touches your leg. The music just changes to that immediately. Oh, this is Inside the Ruins of Alf. A great creepy little tune. There we go. Looking good. Okay. Let me catch up on the chat here. I'm so far behind. Every day we jail more people in Fab Chat. True. I don't like that. This is played. I trained a Scyther to 100 waiting for it to become Caesar. Oh no! I think it should be put in a wood chipper. Can anyone truly be said to get smarter these days? Goblin Jam. What the heck did I unlock? Is that Miss Piggy? No, it's not. I don't know what that is, Mecca. Pineapple on pizza. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate, Auroran. I'm gonna have some more delicious Oi Ocha. The Ruins of Elf had intriguing and spooky music. I agree. They did a lot with a very simple tune. Is it true Vap will be a DLC racer for Mario Kart World? God, I wish, before I forget the models. Model V. What's a model? Let's see. I should draw some fake mon. Ooh. That's a very cute little model. I like the like raw wood look. I should draw some fake mon. Same. We should all draw some fake mon. Hello, Patch Pacific. Teal and real. That's Vaporeon, baby. So true. I'm using model as shorthand for miniature versions of things here. Technically, these are dollhouse miniatures, but that takes longer to type. Fair enough. You sure you don't want Dr. Blast? I mean, I do, but I don't have it. After listening to GSC music, it really is an accomplishment. They made a new Pokemon soundtrack that gave the region its very own feel. It's distinct from Red, Blue, and Yellow, but it's still fundamentally Pokemon. I agree. That's well put. Miss Piggy should stream on Twitch. Where did the Miis go in Mario Kart World? I do feel like Miss Piggy, if she was still, you know, I was gonna say alive. She's still alive. She's not dead. But if she was still active in the entertainment industry, maybe I should say, she would be a Twitch streamer. I think I'm just gonna consider Miss Piggy as being, like, retired. I think that's probably the closest to what's going on with her. She's living a life of luxury and retirement somewhere. Okay, let's work on the kelp. So the kelp has these blue outlines. It also has like blue shading at the points where it's like bending in the what would you call it? The like flow of the water. Go. And then this little bit of kelp kind of sticks up over here. Yeah, okay. And then we'll put in the shading. So here, and here, and here, and here. A whole bunch down here. Yeah, something like that. You probably had nightmares from that day. Thank you. I'm probably not keeping the raw wood look, but maybe I'm not dead yet, Monty Python. Oh snap, they have a little lanyard for your pencil that goes around your wrist in the carpentry aisle. So many tablet-using artists I know need that. No more lost styluses. One of my favorite Gen 2 themes is the rival theme and trainer. It's good. Vaptopia. Tovapachi life. Tovapachi life living the V. To people who think Team Rocket is a terrible villain team, I don't know. It's not like the world would be in turmoil if abject criminals were in power. I think Team Rocket, they are losers, but, oh gosh, how to put this. I do think we should be afraid of losers being in power in this world. Especially now. That is something to be concerned about. Let's see, I think little Magikarp here has a dark outline around it, but it's black in the like official art. I don't think I want to make it a full black outline. I think I'm just gonna do like a red outline and kind of treat it like it's line art. Like that. And then he's got this little head fin, like so. The eye doesn't have an outline. So it goes like that, and then he's got nice little stripy wipies, like so. Yeah, something like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and lighten up the line art a little bit. There we go, that looks nice. Team Rocket equals the Mafia, enough said. Humph, says Mecha. I do like how much your rival's always like, oh, I was going easy on you, and then just gets his ass whooped. It's so sad. You ever encounter people like that in real life? Okay, I'm gonna use this same, like, reddish, orangish line art color to do Shelder's stripes. He has stripes that go backward across the top of the shell. Like so. I'm gonna make the outline a little bit more of a dark purpley black color for the actual shell outline. Something like that. Kind of figuring this out as I go a little bit. Okay. There's the lower part of the shell, and then the tongue. Like so. And then the last shoulder over on this side. Okay. It's a good start with those little guys. Silver is a complete edgelord, but somehow has a redeeming background. Oh, 1 minute. Pi wants to leave the room. I didn't realize she was in here. Hi, sweetie. You wanna go out? Okay. Out you go. She must have been napping in a corner or something. Ugh. Patch says, there's a bit of subtext of Team Rocket actually that goes beyond either of the common perceptions, but not really the place for that here. That makes sense. Stories, says Mecca. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Professor Oak sent a 12-year-old kid to fight children's teachers, Pensers, elderly folks, and the Mafia. I really wonder who's the real villain. If Vap got the Luigi treatment, would it be a year of the Vap or year of the Fish? Year of the Sog Dog. Yeah, I think year of the Sog Dog is correct. I still wonder what Red, Blue, and Yellow would have been like if Blue or Gary had his own rival music along with the Elite Four in both games. Oh, that would be awesome. Hi, Echo. How are you? I will indeed hydrate. It's interesting what Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and by extension, Fire Red and Leaf Green and Heart Gold and Soul Silver ultimately did with Rocket and the decision to make Silver Giovanni's son, whenever that happened exactly. I agree. It's a really interesting little, side story. You imprison Pi? I know. Is there a Zodiac in the Vapiverse? You know what? I never once thought about it in my entire life, but now I'm going to. Okay, let's think about this. Let me just look up the Zodiac real quick, because I do not remember what all the symbols are. Okay, Zodiac symbols. You imprison her like a thief? I know. I really did her dirty. Okay, so traditionally, Aries is the ram. Aries. Oh my god, no, I don't want to watch a YouTube video. This is gonna ruin my recommended if I watch a video about this. Okay. Aries. Yeah, I accidentally opened the video. Okay, this could just be very direct, right? Let's think about this. Most of these easily instantly translate to a Pokemon. I know in, like, Pokemon canon and the games and stuff, they, like, made up their own Zodiac, but I don't agree with it because I got Alomomola, which I don't like. Let's just write down Vapiverse Zodiac. Let's see if we can make a better Zodiac. Okay, let's start with Sagittarius, which is represented by a centaur with a bow. Maybe Cobalion is the closest match? Go-Goat. Go-Goat is good. It's very noble. Let's see. Sagittarius, that's November through December. Oh my god, there's so much information here. Okay, so a mounted archer or an arrow drawn across a bow is the strongest symbol. So actually, what if Sagittarius was, Decidueye? Because of the bow. It could be Decidueye riding a Go-Goat. Okay, I'm writing that down. Decidueye riding a Go-Goat. Here are 59 more videos in your algorithm about the Zodiac and astrology. No! I forgot that meant that and not the Zodiac killer. Okay, I did have a moment where I also thought that Mecha was asking about the Zodiac Killer, and I was like, oh my god. What Pokemon would represent each of the animals in the Chinese New Year in the Pokemon world? That sounds like an easier task than what I'm trying to do right now. Aries is Go-Goat. Why was that my first assumption? What the hell? Actual Zodiac makes way more sense. Alchemy is out in Pokemon Unite. Oh man. Oh yeah, okay, Aries is the ram. Is there a Pokemon that is more like a ram than Go-Goat, or is that the most? I can't think of a Pokemon that's more like a ram. Maybe, Dubwool? I'll write down Dubwool or Go-Goat. Okay, that's fine. Good enough for me. I don't need more information than that. I gotta pick up the pace here. Okay, Taurus, I mean... Come on, I mean... Taurus is Tauros. That's so boring, but I'm sorry, that's just what it is. There's no other answer for this. It's simply what it is. It's a bull. That's it. Period. We're done. That one's done. Gemini is the twins. Let's see. That could be like, Minun and Plusle. Let's see. Constellation. Yada yada yada. Getting way too much information about this stuff. Good lord. Okay, I think I'm gonna say Gemini is Plusle and Minun. Or are there any other Pokemon that are like a good pair? Volbeat and Illumise, that's good. That's good. Or Volbeat, yeah. But if Volbeat and Illumise have like a romance, it needs to be like a siblings thing. Double Go-Goat, Blastoise, clearly. Not the killer. Wow, Alchemy is really out in Pokemon Unite? Oh, the Latis or Tandemaus for Gemini. Plusle and Minun, Latios and Latias, or Tandemaus. Okay, I'll write those all down. Those are all good ideas. I'll have to think about this later. Indeedee. Oh, that's a cute one. Cancer the Crab. So I would have said Kingler or Krabby, but I think now it might be that weird crab from Gen 9. What is it called again? Crab Pokemon. I can't remember his name. Shellos or Gastrodon. Oh, that's good. What is this dude's name? Cloth. I think Cloth might be it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling Cloth for this. Cancer is Cloth. You're getting much more of a detailed answer here than I bet you were bargaining for, huh, Mega? Okay, Leo is the lion. Maybe Solgaleo? Because it's supposed to be representing the brightest star, the sun. Okay, Leo, Solgaleo. I'm happy with that. Somehow still remember all 1,000 pokes. Cloth, time to do housework. Good luck. Thank you, Eiko. I'll catch you later. Enjoy your housework. Okay, Virgo is... I don't know anything about this one. I literally think of nothing when I think of this one. The sixth sign, yada yada. A young maiden carrying a sheaf of wheat, variously identified as a fertility goddess or the harvest maiden. Is there a Pokemon that is associated with, wheat? Or harvest? Farfetch. It's funny because I was thinking about yearly zodiacs. Oh, my bad! Not Pyroar? No, I just like Solgaleo better, honestly. Farfetch carries vegetation. Kirlia for the first part. Oh, that could be cool. This one's a hard one. Farfetch... or, Kirlia... I'm trying to think, is there a harvest Pokemon? Let me search this. Greedent? Oh, that's really good. There's a lot of Pokemon that have the ability harvest. I could see Dolluv or Arboliva. I'm gonna say Arboliva, maybe. That could be a really good fit. Pokemon that... Wow! The term looks like a girl was the Automod. That's awesome. Unevolved forms more of a maiden. Arboliva? What the heck did that get automodded? It's okay, you're allowed to say the term looks like a girl. I won't be offended. Okay, Libra. Libra is the scales. Represented by a woman holding a balance scale or the balance alone. Okay, any thoughts on that one? I'm gonna keep painting. You guys think about that one, because that's a weird puzzling one, actually. Scales. Is there a Pokemon that is like a balance, maybe like Hitmontop? Because it's balancing, or a measuring Pokemon? I can't think of something like that, but I feel like it must exist, surely. Pumpkaboo and Gorgeist would be good choices for the autumn connection to Harvest. Oh, that's nice. Twitch, how is the phrase "looks like a girl" and "a girl" a slur, you maniacs? Are that many people getting force-femmed on here? How did they not get autumn when the other thing did? Lucario for the Anubis scale connection. Oh, that's cool. One of the Swords of Justice. You mean Serena Toby because of the justice part? Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I think the big brain freak Calyrex ever stand on its feet. That would take some balance. True. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think there's a Pokemon that is like based on scales, just period. That one's a bit odd. Maybe we'll come back to that one. Okay, Libra is a mystery. We won't worry about Libra for now. Scorpius? I mean, that one feels pretty obvious. It's gotta be the 2 scorpion Pokemon. I can't remember their names right now. Sagittarius, we already did that one. God, this is the worst website on earth. I don't need ads, please. Capricornus. Oh, this is a whimsical one. A goat forming the constellation. It's like a goat with like a fishtail. Huh. Baltoy. Oh, Baltoy! That's a really good one, Kamo, for Libra because of the scales! The hardware store didn't have everything I need. What the hell? Kill them. Aquarius, the water bearer. That is a guy holding a jug of water. Is there a Pokemon that, like, carries water around with it? Why aren't you on Wiki like a normal deep-diving deranged person? I don't know! I definitely went to the wrong part of the internet for this one. A man pouring a stream of water in a jug. Oh, Ting Lu! That's really funny. I don't know if what Ting Lu carried in his bowl was necessarily water. Pisces is usually 2 fish. Are there any water Pokemon that are like 2 fish? Nobody knows. It's a Tingy. I love Ting Lu. But that was definitely ritual sacrifice happening in that jug. Let's be real. Nothing good was happening in the jug. Okay, let's give Lapras its cute little eye. So it comes up and over like this, and then the bottom of the eye is kind of flat. And it has a shine, like so. And then it has a little eyebrow on top, which is really cute. Makes him look slightly surprised, maybe. And a little nose. And then we'll do just a little bit of outlining of its features. It's got a little smile, a curly little ear. Yeah, it's looking nice. Wishy-washy for schooling. Oh, that's very fitting. Too wishy-washy. Would love a Calyrex plush. It's at least 2 fish. Basculins. For water bearer, maybe a Rockwind or Dewpider. Ooh, that's a really good one. A Huntail and Gorbis. The Huntail and Gorbis are so aggressive, though. I feel like Pisces are usually like a really wishy-washy sign, aren't they? Which is perfect for the Pokemon. I'm a Pisces, and everyone's always like, oh, so you're a dreamer. And I'm okay, whatever. I only slightly worry we've opened the doors for Vap and is going to deep dive for Pokemon Tarot cards. Only slightly. Time to drive home and listen to Vap FM. Maybe that's Vap's signature move or ability. Deep dive. K-Sog. Hey dogs, listen to all the best insane quips, meows, and apocrypha. Just seeing someone do watercolor live is healing, honestly, says Patch. Why, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not working very quickly right now, but I really do like watercolor. It's a wonderful medium. It's got a lot of really unique features. Let's see, how do I want to do? Okay, so I think I need to start working on the actual water, the surface of the water, I mean. So I think I'm gonna do a super pale light blue for the surface. And then I'm going to add ripples onto it, like manually, with white ink. The horizon is super straight, but then the waves kind of ripple around. There's the surface, looking all nice and fresh. Take your time, it takes a ton of work and it's already looking gorgeous. Why, thank you, that's very sweet. It's one of those mediums you really just can't rush. Before I drive, I love how the clouds and sky are looking in particular. Thank you, thank you. I love the blend of styles. Yeah, I'm trying to make this like pixel art, but it's watercolor. I don't know if that's a thing that can be done, but gosh darn it, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put a very pale little, sort of a little shadows on these clouds back here. This is gonna look really dark, but I'm going to lighten it up with a paper towel in just a minute, so don't worry. Okay. Now we go in and lighten it all up. I think this idea of converting pixelated scenes to watercolor is a cool idea. Thank you. Just a silly trio of shells, no thoughts behind those eyes. It's true, there's nothing going on in those shoulders' heads. Reminds me of some videos on older games, where we as the player kind of use the cover art and the in-game art to fill the gap and imagine a world for ourselves. I think that's like a really special thing about older games. It's very, kind of incredible how much your brain can fill things in. Hello, Armades, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, there's a lot of mental work that goes into interpreting games with limited graphics. It's pretty funny. Okay, it's time to give these Shelder some eyes. I'm gonna mix up some blue and black together so that our color is not too dark. And then all these Shelders are basically like looking up with sort of crossed eyes a little bit. I think this is Yusin's music. I'm also going to give Magikarp its little pupil here. Did stream freeze for anyone else? Nope, refresh helped. Max silly mollusk energy. It's true. I feel like if clams had sentience, they would make faces like Shelder does. If one thing Fab can draw, it's googly eyes. That's so true. It's so true, and it's so beautiful. I simply understand how it feels to be googly. Armades, thank you so much for the gift subs. Armades is paying for the gift they got from the original Stumbles to the community and gifting 5 gift subs. 1 to Ico the Gecko, 1 to Cathador, 1 to Patch Pacific, 1 to Mario Bro 2119, and 1 to the blue. Thank you very much. Holy moly. I wonder, when did Stumbles gift you a sub? It must have been a little bit ago. That's awesome. I appreciate it. It's been a big day for subs. I like to think of all these confused people who are not watching the stream right now, who are like, wait, who did I get subscribed to? What's happening? Ah, it's beautiful. It's like being woken up out of your bed and like shoved into the car to go on a road trip, except you're getting shoved into the stream. Alright, now I'm gonna do... There's these kind of dark rocks underneath the water. So I'm just going to layer blue over this existing like tan color that I did. And they have little plants growing on them. Like so. And this background is also a rock. And I need to be very careful not to mess up Shelder's sweet little head here. Last but not least, there should be some rocks on the sea floor that are this color blue. Hipster Flamingo says I opened the stream for 1 second last week and got gifted a sub. Don't forget, you're here forever. Fap, you forfeit all your money to play a Legends Celebi game. If it was good. If it was good. If it was an improvement on Legends Arceus, then yes, I would do anything. I would forfeit all of my many dollars, all of my $10 in my bank account. Technically, I have a decent amount of money in my bank account, but it's not mine. It's money for the Kickstarter. It's like money that I owe people a product from, so we're not gonna count it. That money belongs to the mushrooms. Ah, this is the perfect song for this scene. It couldn't be more better. A sub, thanks, says Cathador. Yes, thank you guys so much for all the gift subs. That was from Armades. There's no escape for you. You will be subscribed. Ah, it's so catchy. This music is what it feels like when you're in like a pool in the summer and you're just floating on your back and like your ears are underwater so you don't have to hear all the racket going on. You can just kind of drift away. It sounds so nice. I love how it feels when you have your ears underwater and you don't have to hear anything. There we go, Lapras is looking good. I can imagine time travel being an actual mechanic for a Legend Celebi. That would be so much fun. Hi Riley, how are you? Good to see you too. Y'all ready for the weekend? Ready for the freaking weekend, as we say? The freakend weekend? Okay, I need some really nice blue for the water here. I'm gonna try the French ultramarine. Gonna go walking. See you. Have a wonderful walk. I love walking. Such an underrated form of exercise. Speaking of swimming, that was a wild idea of having Cyndaquil swim in the ocean as a vet. I really like that scene. I wonder if fire-type Pokemon ever get a little sad that they can't like splash around in the water, right? Because it's not safe for them. Armadi says, wanted to say my pet rabbit Sheila was sick recently. Oh no! She's happy and healthy now, thankfully. Yippee! Your stream is one of the few things to really help distract from the stress while that's happening, so thank you, Beth. That's wonderful. I'm so sorry that she was sick. It's the worst when your pet is not well and you're just like, well, I have to be the strong one here. I'm the adult in the room, but it's so upsetting. I hope she continues to be happy and healthy and munch many greens. Haven't swam in a dog's age, says Stumbles. Brother Florian cannot swim, confirmed. I'm really happy that the stream helps like get people's mind off of difficult things. Because goodness knows, I know how much I rely on, you know, certain YouTube videos and that kind of thing to like get me through when I'm going through a terrible time. So I'm really happy that the stream can do that for somebody else. I'm itching for it, swimming that is. Doesn't it sound so nice? Tell me about it, says Blade. Evil music. Evil music. Okay, so the water needs to be darker beneath the surface, so I'm gonna use just like a totally different shade here. Let's try this out. Let's see how this lands. Well, I'm thinking actually. Hang on. Processing. I want to add a little bit of the cyan to it to make it pop a little more. Now the question is, should it be... Okay, so in the original art of this scene, the water like transitions through several bands of color because the screen like moves up. It's very animated, but I'm making a very short and condensed version of this scene. So I think I'm just gonna make the water like one solid, beautiful blue because there's not really enough room to do bands of color. I think this is the best way to do it. The bands would just try to like break it up too much when it's like not that deep of a scene. I didn't make the water very deep, so it would look silly, I think. That's my professional artistic opinion. I went to college and I say it would look silly. We can't have that. This is serious. Sorry, I'm being annoying. I just get really singy when I'm focused on a watercolor. Lately, Clay and I have been trying to fix our sleep schedule because it's been what doctors would call not good, all fucked up. And especially for Clay, he just has a really hard time getting sleepy. So we've been trying to come up with various techniques, you know, of like, you know, you stop all screen time like an hour before bed, and then you're only allowed to read like what the doctor refers to as a neutral text, just a very boring text, and so on and so forth. But he just couldn't sleep the other night, so I went into his room and I was like, what's a really boring story I could tell him? I couldn't even think of a boring story, so I just listed all of the pieces of playground equipment from my elementary school that I could remember for like 45 minutes. I don't even think it worked. He was just lying there like, oh my god. I couldn't think of anything that was like boring enough. Like all the stories I was coming up with were like, you know, events were happening in the story, so it wasn't very relaxing. It was like, what's gonna happen next? But I was like, well, I can't think of anyone on earth who wants to hear about every piece of playground equipment from my elementary school. And I remembered a lot more than I thought, because the more I thought about it, the more I remembered like, oh yeah, and then when I was in 6th grade, they added this piece of equipment in, and you know, it just kind of kept going. It's so stupid. So yeah, if you ever want to really just baffle somebody who's trying desperately to fall asleep, just tell them about every piece of playground equipment that you can remember. It won't help, but it is funny. What is the name for that piece of playground equipment that is like, it's like a big cage sort of made out of metal pipes, and it's in the shape of like half of a soccer ball? It's like a big dome that you can like climb on and inside. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Because we had one of those at my elementary school, and like no one knew what to do with it. It's a very like sort of difficult to understand piece of equipment. Like you can get in it, but then what? You know? Really, yeah, it really threw us for a loop. I think they got rid of it eventually because like straight up just no one was using it, because it's like, what is this? What is this item? What is this child cage? Maybe that's all it was. almost to the far side. Not the newspaper comic, but the far side of the canvas. I think this is versus Legendary Beasts. Yep. This is such a banger of a tune. I don't know how they made this song sound so epic in this very limited selection of beeps and boops. It just really has a certain weightiness to it. I guess it's just like good music theory and practice. Go. Okay, let me catch up on the chat. I would send some curse knowledge about a cursor, the Windows default cursor. It might trigger some people. I think I saw what you're talking about the other day. Is it that it's not symmetrical? I wonder if Comic Vap would give help or would give help. Would oh my god. Would give or help Esper with swimming. You're singing Waz and Meows are part of the art ASMR. They really are, unfortunately. No silly art allowed on Vap stream. I don't go into REM cycles. I gotta list every Pokemon by number and every stats. Does that help you get sleepy? My little baby Esper niece does know how to swim. She's pretty good. You get a book with such complex vocab you can't grasp it, like calculus for non-math people. Quantum physics, there you go. Silly art? No, not me. Start speaking stuff about negative zeros. Taking notes. There's so many playground equipments. A geodesic dome, yes. Climbing dome. The thunder dome, you climb it and sit on top. I've seen an equipment of that with a bunch of ropes on the inside. Oh, that sounds fun. This is to climb it to develop those skills. 24, 245, legendary cats and or dogs. Heckin' BRB. Suicune is a leopard because of the origins of Japanese folklore. Always wished I could climb across the monkey bar type things. Too much arm strength required for me. Yeah, it's hard. You have to have, like, a really good grip. And I don't have a grip. It's not symmetrical, but that's the only thing that isn't symmetrical. As Masada worked with limited music channels, working with a limited palette can lead to great things. Ain't that the truth? Boop, 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 boop. The other day, my baby niece, we were playing together all nicely, and then with zero warning, she just whipped a piece of chalk at my head, like hard. And I was just like, you know what? I think I'm done playing with you for right now. And she was like, what? She couldn't believe it. It's like peak 3-year-old behavior. She's like, I can't believe that the thing I did led to a consequence. What the fuck? Did you know the calculator isn't symmetrical either? Oh god, in one spot, Esper used fling. I know, there was like no warning or I would have dodged it. She just whipped it at me. It's like, dang girl, I thought we were friends. Can Esper learn fling? This one certainly can. They're just, you know, 3 years old is one of those ages where they can do things, but should they do things? Hard to say. And they certainly aren't thinking about whether they should be doing things. They're just doing and then being like, huh. Alright, let's get Ho-Oh all painted in here. But yeah, I basically took the approach of like when a puppy misbehaves, you just completely like withdraw your attention rather than overreacting. Because that's worse for them than, you know, a punishment, which is still attention. So I just stopped playing with her, and that really gobsmacked her. What can you do? Alright, there's Ho-Oh up in the clouds, but it looks way too bright, so we're just gonna grab the paper towel and just soak up like half the pigment so you can not really see him so easily. There we go, that's cool. It's like a little secret. A little secret up there. Shocked Pikachu. Ice Cavern, so true. The 1 pixel misaligned calculator. It's the mess around and find out age. That's the way to do it. And I don't even know like what I don't know if they do timeouts or what, so I didn't even know like what the method of discipline was. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna leave the room. I don't know what to do here. It's funny now, but in the moment I was like, wow, I see how it is. Betrayal. Okay, let's work a little bit on the white surface of the water here. I want there to be a pretty distinct line between the surface and beneath the waves. And I mostly left it in here, but I accidentally painted over it a little bit around this area, so I'm gonna use my white ink pen and put it back in manually. Y'all seen any good movies lately? I finally went and saw Sinners, and I thought it was a banger. That's a very fun movie. I thought it was going to be more of a horror movie than it was, but it's really not, at least in my opinion, not a horror movie. It's like a thriller. A drama thriller with horror elements, but not very scary, but just a fun movie. Really enjoyed that part of it. No, I think I need to go over these like splashes a little harder. They came out too light. I'm gonna make them very rounded. There we go. Oh, this is the Dragon Cavern. I always forget what this song is. It's such a weird little song. I really like it, but it's super funky. I got a funny ask on my my Tumblr the other day from someone, very sweet ask by the way, but someone who was a little unclear on whether Dratini is Vap's pet or child. It really made me laugh. It's like, well, you know, a little of column A, a little of column B. Dratini's kind of like if you had a child that you could just kind of feed candy off of the floor, you know? It's complicated. The double battle in the Dragon Den in the remake was pretty cool. I agree, it's a very cool battle. Did a rain check movie voucher in my room recently from ages ago. Maybe it's time to use that. Sinners looks good. I saw Heart Eyes recently. I don't know Heart Eyes, a rom-com slasher. I might have heard of that. I like the metal version of this song. Dragon children are semi-autonomous in the Vapverse. In the world of Pokemon, I think it's a little more loosey-goosey, like, you know, it's more like Mystery Dungeon, where it's like, I have this Pokemon that I found, and it's sort of my friend baby? My baby friend? I don't know. They live here in my hut. World of Pokemon is a simpler place. It's like someone's gotta take care of this friend baby. Might as well be me. Just gonna put a nice little bit of defining line art on these waves. Literal found family. Yeah, found family if it means you found your family on the ground, outside. Every time I go to the movies these days, I'm shocked at how loud they get. Yeah, they're very loud. I don't think anyone was expecting to stroll on into Kanto when they first heard the music. It's a shocker. A derg is a derg. Exactly. I'm always saying this. Oops, the ice cream truck is outside. These days being the last 4 years. I don't know whether they're literally getting louder or if we're just getting old. I seriously don't know. It's like it could really be both. They do seem awfully loud to me. And now I'm gonna put Lugia down here. But again, very light in the color so that it's not too obvious. There we go. Just a little hint of it being there. Not too flashy. Eat ice cream. I always bring earplugs to the theater. Fish, do you recommend any kinds in particular? I heard secondies is loud too. Oh my god, Auroran, you can't do this to me. I have auditory sensory issues, so I bring earplugs everywhere with me. That's smart. I think I just fell out of the habit of being in most loud places in general. That's smart, Fish. Fish. I bring earbuds with me everywhere, but that's not really what I need in a movie. I like loop earplugs. Oh, I've heard those are good. Gotcha, gotcha. We'll peruse the selection. All of them come with a little case with a little loop. That's why I keep a pair on my keys. Aha! That's clever. Then you don't have to worry about losing them. Alright, I need to go in and make the shoulders' faces a little darker. The black paint dried a little too gray. Oh my god, we're doing some real boss music here. Okay, okay, okay. Music for when you fight a shelter, apparently. I want to make the Magikarp a little more intense in color. Yeah, it's better. The orange came out a little bit too pale. Didn't mean to go over his eye like that. Sorry, buddy. That was an error. Imagine a randomizer or random encounters could be gym leaders in this place and you're fishing for shelter. Pro gamer move. My fiance's being really loud on voice chat with his friends. I use earplugs and over-the-ear headphones. Whoa. You said not today noise. That's beautiful. Some of these clouds got a little bit messed up on their edges because I was using too big of a paintbrush. So I'm just going to go in with the white ink pen and give them nice, smooth puffs. Goodbye, ice cream truck. We hardly knew ye. This is such a lovely remix they did for Lavender Town. It's still very minor key, but instead of being creepy, it's just sort of sweet and melancholy. It's like an old memory. Really good. Oh my god, the ice cream truck again. Oh, brother, be quiet, please. It's like the opposite of the Lavender Town theme. Let's see. We use our computers in the same room and we talk so loud on voice chat. That's funny. Do you draw anything besides Pokemon, or is that your hyperfixation? It's definitely my main thing, but I also have a webcomic called Taxi Cat that you can read at taxicatcomic.com, and I just finished running a Kickstarter for a Dungeons & Dragons adventure game called Rain's Forest Odyssey, and I'm doing a lot of the artwork for that as well. So Pokemon is kind of right now like my like comfort thing that I draw while I'm working on my more serious stuff. It's like if I want to relax, I get to just draw Pokemon and not do art for the game. So glad that works for you too. I can imagine it'd be stressful otherwise. Oh, thank you for linking, Fish. Fixation is hair, but hyperfixation is when it gets to the point of being unhealthy, right? I don't actually know the definition. I need dessert now. I would love some dessert. Do y'all know the Japanese candy called Crunky? There's this Japanese candy called Crunky, and it's like basically like in the US we have a similar candy called a Crunch Bar. It's got like rice puff inside, basically. It's like a chocolate with rice puff inside. And in Japan they have Crunky, and Crunky comes in many forms. You can get it as a bar. There's a lot of different ways you can get it, but you can get a type of Crunky that is called Big Crunky, and a friend of mine went to Japan recently and brought me back some Big Crunky, which is my favorite. And Big Crunky is like just a ball of chocolate, just a big lumpy ball of chocolate, and it's wonderful. And I made Big Crunky ice cream, and the type of ice cream maker I have, you mix up the base, so that's like the milk and the sugar and stuff, and you put the base in the freezer until it's like rock solid, extremely frozen. It's usually about 24 hours. And then you churn the ice cream in the maker, and then once you've churned it, then you could add in any mix-ins that you want, like Big Crunky, for example. So I did that, but I thought because the churning is so powerful, I was like, you know what, I don't need to cut up the Big Crunky, I'll just put it in there, and it'll get broken down by the ice cream blades. And let me tell you, not so. I just ended up with vanilla ice cream with just whole Crunky in it. It was still delicious, though. Some artists are only regular style fixated on things. I hyperfixate on dragons, but it's such a broad category, I'll be on that one forever. That's true, it's a very versatile category. Dragons give you plenty of room. The name and the bunny fell on one of the packages. Oh yeah, neat. Hyperfixation is a term for neurodivergence. It's kind of like a specialty of information one reads up on and adores. Oh, okay. They're basically a Crocodileomorpha. Oh, that's fun to say, with wings if I'm being blunt. Not a term to refer neurodivergence as, but a term associated with them. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's how I've heard it used, mostly. I don't know, I've just always been aggressively into Pokemon. I thought someday I would chill out about it, and I really, haven't. So it's not looking likely to happen soon. I think what I like about Pokemon is it's such a, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's such a, like, blank canvas of a world. Like, the core concept is very simple, and there are a lot of different ways you can, like, iterate on it creatively. You know, you can make Pokemon Mystery Dungeon style worlds, or the fantasy can be about being a Pokemon trainer, or it could be like biological discovery, like bird watching, you know, it could be so many different things. I don't know, I just find it very easy to have fun with. It's like no matter how deep you dive into concepts surrounding Pokemon, there's always something else you could do. It doesn't get stale for me the way that some franchises do. Since I like do art for a living, it can be easy to get kind of I don't know, it's easy to just sort of get bored or run out of ideas of what you want to do. And Pokemon just always seems to scratch that itch for me creatively, like something that's easy and fun to work on, which I really appreciate. And it's a really nice way to connect with other people who are into the same types of things that I'm into. People who love, like, animals and creature design and art and video games and all that. It's just, like, an easy way to connect. I find, like, at conventions especially, like, I'll meet people at my booth who, like, we have nothing else in common, but since we both love Pokemon, we always have something to talk about. Toby says, apparently hyperfixation is not technically a clinical term with a strict definition. My bad on that one, Auroran. Very cute. Hi, Easy Crime. How are you? Usually associated with autism, too. Special interest. Oh, yes, that one I know. Special interest is the term for the one associated with autism. That does have a specific definition, but let me check. Special interest is autism, and hyperfixation is the ADHD. Ah, okay. I do have autism. Autism is more viewing the world differently than everyone else. I love creature design because of this. I love creature collecting games for the critter designs. Me too. Me too. Special interest is something sustained for a longer period of time. Hyperfixation, the way I've seen it used, refers to a temporary period of intense focus. Yes, okay. So, like, if you're getting into a new game with ADHD, it would be, like, something you hyperfixate on for 4 days straight, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. That kind of thing. I feel like the sand on the seafloor needs to be a little darker. Not much, though. Not much. I'm just gonna grab a little bit more tan here. Yeah, I just needed a tint more saturation. Not much, just a little bit. You know, I kind of actually like that I made the ocean more shallow in this image than it is in the actual cutscene. Because when I was a kid, I used to imagine that the reason you can just go out to sea on your Pokemon's back is I always imagined that the oceans were very shallow, like maybe like 20 feet deep. For whatever reason, that's what was in my head. Like, it was more like a lake than anything else. So, of course, it was safe for children to go play out there. Not like the real ocean. Let's see. I've done that too. Now it's become more of a special interest. Definitely a crossover between the two. Possible to hyperfocus and a special interest, for example. Fortunately, that helps me a ton with creature design. Helps produce very unique and different characters. That makes sense. Hyperfixations can be so random. I always saw clips of the show fresh off the boat on TikTok. Finally decided to give it a watch last week. Now I'm on season 5 and halfway through the audiobook. Holy shit, Fish. You locked in. You were like, alright, it's time to learn about this. That's amazing, actually. So I take it you like the show? I've heard good things about it, but haven't watched it. I did the same thing with art. That's hyperfixating, says Toby. I can definitely get like that with like books, especially. I tend to really lose the plot, so to speak, no pun intended, when it comes to books. I'll just like ruin my sleep schedule, ruin my life. I'll just ruin everything until I'm done with the book. That's part of why I've gotten so into audiobooks. It lets me do the reading I want to do while still like doing the dishes and taking showers and stuff. There's something about a paper book that is like, if you are going to completely ruin your life reading it, it's, you know, you just have to sit there and hold the book. You know what I mean? It has more capacity to ruin your life, I feel. I'm gonna make these rocks that are in the foreground a little bit darker. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. There we are. Okay, let's see. 20 hours a day for 2 weeks. Yep, you locked in. The only reason I'm not further in is because I have a visual novel book club to participate in. Oh, that's fun. Learned the hard way not to do that. That said, I do wonder if it's replacing the world, like hobby for a lot of people in a way that's maybe making the term less useful. Yeah, I've definitely seen people use it casually. Already ruined the term ADHD. I think this happens a lot of mental health terms. It's a mess, but what can you do? It's sort of like the what's it called? The euphemism treadmill. Do y'all know about that topic? I think I've talked about that on stream before. Where like, this is not exactly like a one-for-one comparison, it just reminds me of the euphemism treadmill, which is basically like the concept that if there's a rude or, you know, a concept you shouldn't bring up in public, such as like a toilet, people will come up with a euphemism for it, such as like, I'm going to the restroom. But over time, the euphemism that is used to refer to the taboo topic, the euphemism itself will become inappropriate. So then we have to come up with a new euphemism, and so on and so forth. And that sort of reminds me of that, of like, you know, terms will come out to describe certain sets of behavior, like ADHD, and then people use it to describe more watered down versions of the behavior, so then you have to come up with a different word to refer to the original thing you were trying to talk about, because it's been like co-opted. There's sort of a connection there. I'm giving myself a C+ on connected topics here. Technically a passing grade, but not very good. Do you know what the H means in ADHD? I believe it stands for hyperactivity, I think. I love listening to audiobooks and my history podcast while doing grinding and video games. Yes, I do the same thing. It's the best, and I feel like I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm being so efficient. Can I ask about when you'll do the next Taxi Cat page? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm hoping that maybe next week or the week after, I wanted to switch back to the old schedule I was working on before the, what's it called? The Kickstarter, where I do Webcomic Wednesdays on Wednesday, and then Rainforest Fridays on Friday, or what did I call it? Fungal Fridays? Funko Pop Fridays? Something like that. I would like to switch back to that schedule so that I can keep doing Taxi Cat. So that's definitely in my to-do list right now. Because that was like the most consistent that I've been with in ages. If I have like a dedicated night per week to work on it. That's a great term for it. I don't know if I've heard that before. It's excellent. Yeah, Euphemism Treadmill I heard about, I think in a YouTube video I was watching, and I was like, oh yeah! Correct, it means hyperactivity, but ADD doesn't have that. It affects my ability to get a job because of this. Yeah, I've heard that there's different types of ADHD, so that makes sense. I can mindlessly grind crafting and gathering in Final Fantasy XIV when I have the right stuff to listen to. Yeah, totally. It's like the ideal way to grind. So relaxing. Nice to hear, says Easy Crime. Yes, it's been on my mind recently of like, I really want to get some pages out. And since it's like not paid work, I think the only way that I can really keep up the momentum to work on it is doing it on stream. And that's, you know, part of why I started streaming. It's like, this is all work I have to do anyways, so I'd rather do it while socializing and having fun. You guys kind of keep me accountable for stuff, even though that's not, like, the whole point. It's part of the point, for sure. You guys are my accountability buddies. Like, especially on Fridays, like, you know, Friday afternoon is like the sun's starting to go down. Like, no one wants to be like, all right, let's finish up this thing. So Fridays are a good day for me to stream because of that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know I wanted to do like, I don't know what this is called, but you know when there's like, at the bottom of a pool, there will be like those cool like grid patterns where the sunlight is coming through. I want to do that a little bit down here on the sea floor. I know that one of those like kind of co-opted terms that is like especially unhelpful that I've heard people talk about is when people say like, oh, I'm so OCD, when like they just mean they really prefer to be tidy because they don't like really understand like how difficult it is to actually have OCD. It's definitely one of those things that people use like too casually without thinking about it. Thankfully, I think that's sort of going the way of the dodo, as they say, because people are actually getting pushed back for using terms like that in that way. I mean, a lot of it is just like ignorance. Like, people genuinely don't know about what, you know, some of these conditions can cost people in life, so just telling them is often helpful. Not always, but often. There we go. Got some nice little sun dapples on the sea floor. Let's see. Oh, I'm so far behind here. ADHD in general is poorly named. Less of a deficit, more of a dysregulation, so it's a whole mess. Yeah, I have heard that. The thing to remember about psychiatric terms is they're a whole mess, and the symptom terminology treadmill shrimply doesn't help. Should go back to ADHD and ADD since they declassified Asperger's and not just autism that affects my ability to get a job because there's a stigma with autism. Same thing with ADHD. Ron, if you looked at specific reasons those changes are made, they might make more sense if you do. I don't care why they did it, I care about how it's personally affected my ability to get a job. They're a hot mess, I think it's worth thinking about. The reason we don't use Asperger's anymore, it was a lot better before, we need something else then, something other than its autism. Function normally, but I'm labeled as having autism. The best thing is to work against the stigma about autism. Didn't have that stigma before, as there was a way to differentiate, now it's grouped into one and makes it harder to tell. It's very complicated. I'm gonna leave this here, says Delta. The dish is gonna be good and the directions are this fruity. Mix together the batter, make sure it's thick as fuck, and let rise for 30 to 40 minutes. Oh man, that's really funny. Yeah, probably this topic is like too complicated to get into on a casual stream, but it is very interesting. Echo says, oh my god, Armades, thank you for the subscription gift. Yeah, seriously, thank you very much for all the subs today. That was a lot more than I was expecting. I think I'm almost done here. I'm just gonna add another bubble or two, and then I think probably call it good. I think this is like pretty much done. I don't want to do like a lot of shading because that's not very true to the original art style. I want to keep it pretty simple, I think. Let's see, Delta, that's a good post. What did y'all have for dinner today? I have not had dinner yet. I feel like I want something really tasty tonight. I don't know what I should have, though. I keep forgetting that I have, like, a grill in the backyard, and I can, like, grill delicious meals out there. Maybe I should get the grill cleaned up, chase the spiders out of there, and grill something. We haven't even had like a cover on it for a while, so it's probably just straight up like Bug City, but that's okay. They usually just leave when I ask them nicely. I'm gonna make the surface of the water a little bit more sparkly. Alright, I think it is... Mamma mia, it's done. Stick a fork in this Lapras. But don't really. I've just returned from the traditional market. Ooh, did you get some good stuff? Oh, I love veggie pizza. Taco Bell is a treat. No pineapple pizza? I didn't. Probably not really gonna have much of dinner tonight because I had a big late lunch. They bought pizza for everyone at work today and I ate a decent amount. Getting pizza at work is like one of the best things about having an office job. Not today, but I do like it. Something simple. Yeah, I like hot dogs. I knew it, says Aurora. Grilled spiders. I forget you're like 4 hours behind me. Oh, it's all good. I usually wait till after my stream to have dinner regardless of when the stream is, so... I had some pan burger helper and mashed potato. I love mashed potato. I like never have it, but I really like it. I just like don't generally make potatoes at home on my own anyways, but I'm not like against it or anything. I should. It just kind of takes a while. Okay, I think that is it for me. I'm not gonna do a raid today. And I will see you guys next Wednesday on the stream. Hopefully it'll be for Webcomic Wednesday. Maybe one more week until I end up getting that really rolling. We'll see. I really want to finish those Yassified Vap emotes, so hopefully that will be next week. Stay soggy, my friends. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you for hanging out and chatting. I'm really happy with how much work I got done on this stream. This picture was like barely started when I kicked up the stream today, so... pretty good progress, I have to say. Don't mind if I do toot my own horn. No Raid Shadow Legends, not today. Smell you later. Any plans to get back to game streams at any point soon? Hopefully. We just started, like, really getting into the work on Rain's Forest. So we're trying to sort out, like, what the schedule should be. Like, which days a week I'm dedicated to just Rain's Forest, and which days are for Taxi Cat, and which days are for, you know, my artwork, and which days are for streaming. It's all... I'm afraid, surprisingly complicated. And, like, obviously Rain's Forest is sort of like, it takes up the lion's share because it's, you know, at this point, a product that I owe people, so... But I really would like to get back to the game streams. The only reason anyone comes in the office these days every couple months at my job is the pizza. Lag's happening, have a good evening. Once Rain's Forest is completed, or at least almost done thing. I really don't know, Delta. I'll keep you posted. Alright, catch you later, Gators. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye!